violence in Europe, and it's on the increase. Last year, arrests for serious assaults almost doubled. These days, violence is likely to be more vicious, more likely to involve weapons and to end in serious injury than ever before. Police may have clamped down hard on disturbances at football grounds, but determined hooligans have responded with... The way violence is organised may have changed, but one thing remains the same. It's still just a hardcore few who spoil things for the majority of decent fans.
The child we were with was absolutely terrified. He's come home, put his hat and scarf down.
Prospect of serious violence, firms from different teams link up to fight other sets of hooligans.
Good night in the town last night.
Danny Walford has brought his Reading youth firm to travel with Millwall for a pre-arranged fight at the game against Manchester City. It seems hardcore hooligans will go anywhere there is likely to be a fight.
Last weekend was the first weekend I didn't have to.
In Manchester, the tension is mounting. There was trouble last year when City came to London, and Millwall see this as a chance for revenge. I leave Danny and his friends as they go into the ground. Danny already has his hood up to hide his face from the CCTV cameras. I can sense trouble brewing, and I don't want to be involved. My suspicions were right. It kicks off inside the ground. The violence continues after the match, and despite my best efforts, I'm still caught up in it.
Superintendent Clive Wolfendale has rung in about this Manchester City Millwall game.
It's dangerous here, isn't it?
I've been policing games at Main Road one way or another for 22 years, and today was a sad return to some rather dismal, dimmer days of the past.
I think this is a side of football that we don't focus on enough, you know, the mindless violence and the sense that people are, you know, they're not making an appointment to go and watch a game, they're making an appointment to go and have a bundle.
That's exactly what they were doing, and you could see at the end that there were families with young children looking quite terrified. That should be what a football match is all about.
If it's not Millwall's making a fuss of it, it's City and they're raining missiles down on the police here, and we're just keeping out of the way, trying to keep safe.
It was the season's biggest outbreak of violence.
Every police station in South Manchester is full of people arrested before, during and after the game.
Some of those involved in the fighting were not arrested, as Danny told me back in London.
We had it with Man United just after you left us.
They'd also had a pre-arranged fight with the Manchester United firm.
You know railway tracks?
Yeah.
They go like that, don't they? And then they've got the bits that go like that.
Yeah.
You know the coil bits, what screw them together? I threw one of them at a Man U fan and he fucking never heard someone scream in one life.
Where hit him, mate?
For Danny, violence is a way of life.
Fucking fighting us like that, bang, through the window, fighting him. And he's fucking, that's all on camera, and I just got a t-shirt and a pair of jeans on. No hat or nothing. I'm gutted.
This time Danny's been caught on camera, but arrest and prosecution hold little fear.
I mean, what was
he gave as good as he got until I fucking lashed him round the head with it a few times. It snapped, right? It was about that long, and it had a big paddle bit on the end, and I fucking hit him about 3 times, and it snapped every time I hit him. So I got the paddle bit up, and I was fucking hitting him with that. And
Danny sees prison as a rite of passage, and he thinks his good friend Andy Frayne will look after him.
I don't care, who gives a fuck? It's good to get a bit of time under your belt anyway.
It's good to get a bit of time.
Frayne will look after me anyway. Really? He knows so many people.
Nightmare! He's done time?
Has he done time? He's done about 10 years altogether.
Frayne was telling us about when he was last in, they put him on this, anger management course.
That's what they want me to go on.
No! Who wants you to go on that, mate?
Anger management course and a drinking course, you know.
Who said that?
Alcoholics, fucking... I ain't an alcoholic, though. Frayne will look after me anyway.
Instead of those kids.
Reports from Greater Manchester Police and officials from both clubs before deciding on what action to take. The man's
clash with Manchester United fans on their way to Nottingham, and Manchester City fans bound for the game at Main Road. Violence also flared inside the ground. Police made 11 arrests and 9 officers were hurt. Will Walden reports.
Another day of soccer shame. Rush home in the heart of Manchester in the aftermath of some of the worst football violence in the city for years. Indian-owned shops and businesses bore the brunt, targeted by Manchester City fans, frustrated at being separated from rampaging Millwall fans by the police.
There were bricks, bottles, everything.
Millwall fans were ripping up seats and hurling them at opposing fans. Dozens of police officers moved in. They were met with a barrage of missiles. 9 officers were injured. There were 11 arrests. Saturday's violence was clearly carefully planned and orchestrated. It's understood an internet site told Millwall fans when and where to go weeks before the game. Nearly 1,000 Millwall fans who'd been expected to arrive by train in Manchester stopped instead in Stockport 3 hours before kick-off. Officers in riot gear there were forced to separate them from hundreds of Manchester United fans bound for their game in Nottingham.
It was suddenly like loads of fans, thousands of them everywhere, just turned up all at once. And it just seemed funny to me, because it's like normally quiet on a Saturday.
If it was an organised event or incident, then yes, it would concern us. But that is the job of not only us, but also the rest of the people in football to make sure that anything like...
Home to rivals Millwall, although it did take a freak Paul Dickoff goal to send them ahead. Millwall keeper Nigel Spink inexplicably allowing his miss...
Pressure.